fighting the good fight for a number of years now. John Sharman, the branch secretary of Lincolnshire County Council, Unison branch, representing thousands of employees of Lincolnshire County Council, many of whom are facing a bleak future. But it doesn't have to be that way. John's going to tell you more.
Thank you, Nick. Just you wait till you're 35 and see what it feels like. Well, good afternoon, everybody. We meet at the end of a week which was a historic week. On Wednesday, the 20th of October 2010, Osborne, in announcing the results of his comprehensive spending review, made a declaration of war. With the enthusiastic support of his Conservative and Liberal Democrat colleagues, he declared war on the working people of Britain, on students, on those dependent upon benefits, on the poor and the most vulnerable and disadvantaged members of our society. And he declared war on behalf of the rich, of the interests of corporate business and finance. And it is a serious war. He also gave 1 million people their P45s on Wednesday. His own figures say 490,000 public sector jobs will go, and the government admits that more jobs will go in the private sector as a direct consequence. So the people of our city and the people of our country need to understand this is not some kind of private versus public sector issue. This is a direct attack upon everybody. And the shameful benefit cuts, £7 billion on top of the £11 billion already announced, demonstrate what kind of future awaits those when they finish their university education, awaits those when they're thrown out of their jobs and can no longer contribute to society through their taxes in the way that we want people to do, and in the way that all those who are evading paying their tax, the interests of business, those who refuse to bring in the major financial transactions tax, which would put those who have created this crisis through their greed and incompetence, they're the people that should be paying, not the ordinary people of this country. And here in Lincolnshire we've got a foretaste of what's to come. Lincolnshire County Council is already making savage cuts to its services. Services for older people, where for almost a year we've been campaigning against the threat to privatise the last homes run by the council for older people. Where we have seen 350 workers in home support have their hours already cut this year. Where the council has now brought forward proposals that will cost 150 people their jobs and 200 more are cut in hours. And all this without any public consultation, all this that will mean real cuts to services, services for older people, services for those with learning difficulties and physical disabilities. And it is, in our view, an absolute disgrace. Now, I said earlier that it's been a historic week. And I remember, due to my great age, as Nick has helpfully pointed out, I remember other historic times. I remember 1987, when Margaret Thatcher won her third term and believed that she'd written herself into the history books. And her flagship policy in that election that she won in 1987 was the poll tax. And it was the poll tax that brought her down. Because the people of this country would not accept something that they knew was simply unjust and unacceptable and had to be stopped. And a mass of protests began and increased and swelled across this nation. And I believe that is going to happen again. I believe that the people of Britain who have had war declared upon them will fight back and will say we will not accept our society being torn apart as Osborne and his cronies wish to do. So today we have a simple message. To Osborne, to Cameron, to Clegg, you may think that you have set out on a road that will ruin British society, but we tell you, the people of Britain will ruin you first.